Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brady Atkins, and I am going to talk to you today about the effects of children who live in single parenting homes. Were you brought up in a single parent home? If so, were there any side effects that you had? Whether it be psychological or behavioral problems, or were there any positive side effects living in a single parent home? I'm going to talk to you about two negatives and one positive effect on children living in a single parent home. First, there are developmental delays that children encounter in school. Then I'm going to talk to you about the psychological effects that children living in a single parent home deal with. And lastly but not least, I'm going to discuss the positive effect of a stronger bond with a child and a parent in living in a single parent home. In a single parent home, medicinenet.html says that children that live in a single parent home tend to have lower grades, and they also have higher dropout rates than those children who live in a two parent home. There are fewer economic resources available and more family instability, causing more adverse childhood experiences that increases poor education for children who live in a single parent home. They face academic difficulties. These children face academic difficulties because their parents may not be as educated as they need to, and therefore they're not able to help them with their homework or classwork that they may have been sent home with to do. But, every child is different, every parent is different. Parents seem to work longer hours, therefore, they may not be around as much as they would hope to be, but they have to make the incomes meet um, in order to financially support the family. Not only do children who live in single parent homes have developmental problems or delays, they also have psychological issues and effects. Some of these children feel lonely, abandoned, and they tend to turn to drugs and alcohol when they have these feelings by living in a single parent home. The parent's not around as much, so um, they have an absence of that one parent that they may need. We just never know. American Indians and African American races children are at a higher risk for adverse childhood experiences, causing isolation and more than their peers who have the two parent home. Discipline is also very hard in a single parent home because sometimes the parent feels guilty for disciplining the child because the child doesn't see themselves doing wrong even though the parent does. So it makes it hard. And it causes those children that live in single parenting homes, it can cause them to have behavioral problems. There are many negative effects of children who live in a single parent home, but there are also some positive side effects. An important positive side effect would be that a single parent and the child living in the single parent home have a stronger bond. The child and the parent are able to uh, spend quality time together. They're able to watch movies, watch TV, play video games, play board games. They're able to spend more time together that's quality time, and the child is getting more attention from the single parent than they might would if they were in a two-parent home. Um, there's going to the years of fighting between the parents is going to be less, which therefore is going to be a positive impact on the child and makes it become a calm environment for the child and the single parent. So there's less stress, making everyone's life better. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, there's been an increase of 27% of single parent in homes compared to a 20% chance, or excuse me, a 20% single parenting home in 1980. Though there are developmental delays and psychological effects, behavioral problems, there's also a positive outcome, stronger bonds. Stronger bond is very important. There may be trouble in social academics causing the children to turn to drugs or alcohol. And American Indians, again, and African American races are at the highest risk of these negative effects. Discipline is harder, but the benefits of being in a single parent home is that stronger bond and that fighting decreasing, making things less stressful. So next time someone says or stays away and or isolates themselves because they have trust issues, they may be scared to talk, ask yourself what's going on with their life. Could they be in a single parent home? And if they are, what would you do to help them?